This is the home of the Utes.
Yes, it is.
So we get bumped when the Utes have an early kickoff. And we are sitting across the desk also from our good friend, John Papor. Red Ledges, head golf professional at Red Ledges. And John, you are wearing a snazzy hoodie today. What would that be?
Today, I've chosen my Park City High School golf hoodie, the one I so very, very well represented this fall season when coaching the high school team. Boys had an awesome season.
Oh, yeah? How'd you do?
Well, we
Who won
thanks for
John?
asking. We were fortunate enough to come away with a victory and call ourselves state champions for 2024.
Okay, I'm going to see you and raise you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just come away with a victory. You got a double at the state high school championships, winning both team and individual titles. Wow.
Yeah, that helps. That helps when you have an individual who wins the tournament, and obviously that helps the team. So Ross and Hardy came away with a one-stroke victory by birdieing the last hole, the 36th hole.
How cool is that, Jan?
Yeah, if you're going to win,
great.
I mean,
Do it like that.
you might as well birdie the last hole to do it. He didn't know where he stood. He didn't know what he needed to make on that last hole. We did because they had live scoring and we were tracking it on our phone and this and that. And we asked him, Rawson, do you want to know where you're at? Do you want to know where the team's at? And he's like, nope, I'm going to get it done. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Let's go. And gettable par 5. He reached it in 2.
You were at
Meadowbrook.
Meadowbrook. I was trying to say Mountain View, but it's Meadowbrook. You were at Meadowbrook, dogleg left, par 5, water, but not really in play. The real element on that hole is some undulations, some bumps that get in the way.
Yeah, he did.
Moguls.
He hit it on that right side where the bumps were and had a pretty significant ball above his feet lie. But all the kids were getting there in 2, even though it was rainy and windy and cold. Like I said, a gettable par 5. I think he had 180 in, so a little bit of a 7-iron, choke up 7-iron for him, but it was pretty significant. The lie was not good, but he hit it in there about 20 feet and gave that first putt. His eagle putt was he gave that one a good wrap. He probably had 5-6 feet coming back, but made it for a birdie and one shot victory, and the team won by 5 as a result. It was fun.
That is so cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. It my first experience as a coach. I've been in that realm playing, and when you're in control, it's a different set of nerves when you're not in control, if that makes sense.
Well, it does. Actually, I'd like to talk to you about that. Let me say it this way. John, you come to your role as head coach of the Park City Miners with a lot of experience. Tournament player yourself, a college player yourself in Michigan. You have been involved with teaching and with competing, as I say, yourself a lot. You've been involved with teaching competitors. I want to catch up with you and your work with Mitchell Scow, a good friend of ours, one of the great players Utah has produced. We want to talk about your work with Mitchell. You have seen and experienced a lot, but I hear it all the time that watching a team you're in charge of is a different emotional drain.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, I'll take it a step further than that too. So playing, obviously, there's nerves when you're there. I used to work for Jack Nicklaus, and I picked his brain all the time.
He was pretty good at competing, I've heard.
He was decent. Yeah, okay. Pretty good at golf. And so talking to him, even later in his career, I would ask him, or I did ask him, Jack, do you still get nervous? And he's like, of course. Everybody gets nervous. It shows that you care. It shows that you're alive. It shows that you want to do well. The time that you enter a tournament or doing anything and you don't get a little nervous, you probably shouldn't be there because
exactly.
in his mind,
Yeah.
it means that you don't really care to be there.
No, we talk about that with the first tee kids. There's two things that we tend to tell them. Number one is exactly what you say. It shows that it cares. It shows that you care. Number two, it shows that it matters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, do you ever get nervous just pegging it and letting it fly in a casual round with your buddies?
No, not generally.
No, it's just you're slapping it, walking, talking, having fun.
Mm-hmm.
But when something matters, yeah, you get nervous. And what I tell the kids is embrace this, make it yours, and figure out. This is your task. Figure out how for you to turn it into a positive energy, and channel that energy to focus. Channel that energy to good thinking. Channel that energy to being light on your feet and swinging the club the way you know you can. All that stuff. Channel that energy. But isn't it different when you don't control what's going on, John?
Well, yeah. So when you're trying to, there's different techniques, and as a coach, you try to teach how to channel that energy, like breathing techniques, slowing things down, slowing your thoughts down, slowing your rhythm down, slowing everything down, because when you're nervous, everything's going at a much faster pace. So how do you do that? It's interesting. There's different techniques to do that. But when you can do that, and like you said, when you can harness that energy to a positive, I'm sure all you guys have felt it, and even the listeners out there, like you if you can channel that energy to your benefit, you can hit the ball further. You can hit the ball with more spin. You can just do crazy things, and it's so enlightening when you feel like you're going to puke, and yet you can hit a shot that was one of your best shots you've ever hit. That is a cool feeling, folks. That is a really cool feeling.
So learning how to channel positivity out of choking on your vomit, that's
that's a technique.
That's
managing vomit.
It's a technique. Yes. So that's when you're playing, and then you know what the kids on your team or the kids you're working with or players in general are feeling. From a coaching perspective, it's in a way more difficult because you're not in control. When you're feeling those nerves playing, you're in control. You hit a bad shot, hit a great shot, it's on you. But when you're coaching, now it's, all right, guys, I've given you all the tools you need. Let's go out and do it. But it's nerve-wracking as a coach because you're watching it happen and you're watching it unfold real time, and good, bad, or indifferent, you have done everything you could do to get them ready to this point. You just have to hope and pray that they get it done when they need to, because you know what they're feeling, and you're feeling it too, but you aren't the one hitting the shots, so it's difficult. And then I wanted to take it a step further. Being a parent of a player, any sport, I realized, holy cow, that takes nerves to an entirely different level, because you want your kid, son, daughter, whatever it is, to do so well that that level of nervousness as a parent coach, even more so, is so elevated that I was like, oh my gosh.
Because your son's playing on the team.
He did, yes. Yeah. And now I'm coaching my 7th grade son in basketball. And again, you want them to do so well. Whether they win or lose, you know you're going to love them all the same. But when it's your kid and you're coaching your kid, it is a whole nother level of stress and nerves and emotions.
Yes.
But it's all fun. It's all part of the journey.
That is really cool. That is really cool. One of the things I want to take a little moment here and talk about being a parent versus being a coach. Now, you are in a unique situation where you are representing the school, you're coaching the team, and your son plays for the team, and so you have that dual role. And you know, you see this not infrequently throughout sports at the high school and at the college level, where Some kid comes along and they're a great player, and they end up playing for their father or their mother as a coach. But in general, I want to draw a distinction between being the coach and being the parent. And we have this conversation on a consistent basis with parents in First Tee programs, which is to say there are 100 really good coaches out there. We will be working with your child, helping to coach your child. If you want individual instruction, we can refer you to great individual coaches like John Papor, and find exactly a great coach for your child. But that child has one father, one mother. That child has parents that are unique. Be the dad. Be the mom. Focus on loving them, accepting them, building them up, regardless of performance and outcome. And then, and I think this is vitally important, take them for ice cream. Ice cream is magic. It will give that child, they'll associate, especially when they're younger, they'll associate, in this case, golf, whatever the sport is, with special time alone with mom or dad and some ice cream that everybody loves. And that will be a positive experience that will build for years. Be the parent, take them for ice cream, let the coaches coach.
Yeah, that's well said. Just supporting them. Supporting them
yes.
in what they want to do. I think it's a really important thing also. And Paul, you know this. It's up to the child to want to do it. It's not the parent who wants them to. Now, you can introduce them to it, like say, hey, son or daughter, I would love for you to be introduced to the game of golf, and let's do it. Whether it's getting a lesson or just going out and screwing around, hitting shots, teaching them how to hold it and grip it and this and that. But if that doesn't turn into some sort of love or at least like for the game,
find something else.
Then let's try something else.
Yeah, that is really well said. And look, the most important thing, and I'm so gratified to hear some top level figures in the game talk about this. Two in particular do it exceptionally well with great articulation, and those are Podrick Harrington and Jason Day. And they talk about when you're with your kid, focus on fun, not the swing, not the shots, not the score, fun. But here's the hard part for us parents. The kid gets to define what fun is. And it might be that they're not hitting every shot. It might be that they take a break after a couple of holes. It might be that my little granddaughter, my son and I would take her out. She loved to tap in the putt. So she would ride along on the golf cart with us, and then we'd get to the green. She'd take her little putter and her ball. She'd go sit it down 2 inches from the hole, tap it in, and just stand there smiling and beaming.
Hole in one.
Yep. And she'd look at us like, you guys are dumb. You guys are making this way too hard. You can just set the ball here and tap it in. It's really cool.
Yeah. My 7th grader, if he has a bad T-ball, he doesn't get frustrated. He's like, Dad, I'll just drop where yours is. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
sounds good.
Wow,
Bingo. Bingo. That
idea.
is so good. What's his name?
Bryce. He's my 7th grader.
Go Bryce.
Yep.
Yes. And go John. For you as dad to say, let's do it.
Yeah.
That is exactly the right response. Yes.
Just minimize the frustration, and also, pace of play is a big thing in the game of golf. And so I don't need Bryce to be hitting 4 T-balls to get one in play. Go ahead. You hit a bad one, shake it off. Yeah, sure. Let's drop it up by mine. Hopefully I hit a good one.
There is that.
And then let's keep on going. Let's keep it moving. So, fun. I agree with you.
Great stuff. Great stuff. John.
Yes.
Tell us what you're doing with Mitchell Scow.
Mitchell Scow is, he's so close.
Well, it starts with he's so stinking good.
Well, that's. I didn't think I had to say that.
I just like saying it.
He is.
Okay.
5-year COVID year star on the Utah Utes golf team.
Right.
Clearly graduated a few years ago. Trying to make it for a living out on tour. Because he made a cut on the PGA Tour this summer at the Barracuda.
Mm-hmm.
He has
top 20.
Yeah, I've played really well. He has, for a calendar year, he's got his way into Monday qualifying. That's his way into the tour now. We went through Q school, didn't make it out of first stage, missed by 2, had a bad last round, or third round. But again, this game is so fickle, so frustrating, so close. But anyway,
the margins are so tight; they almost don't exist.
True, and it's getting tighter.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. Yeah, we
been
do.
Following what's going on tour. The PGA Tour is coming out with fewer tour cards. Instead of the top 125, it's the top 100 getting tour cards for the following year. Talking about these Monday qualifiers right now, 4 spots. The top 4 people get in. They're talking about eliminating, I think, 2 of those spots.
They're gonna drop that to 2.
So
something that was already stinking impossible is gonna get more so.
Yeah. So talking about Mitchell, 2 weeks ago in Mexico, he finishes 6 under, I believe was the number, and he was in a playoff. Missed in a playoff. I think it was 3 guys for 1 spot, and he missed. So again, he's out that week, but so close. Mitchell's playing great golf right now. Last week's Monday qualifier, he was 2 under. It took 5 under. So it's such a difficult road that he's traveling on, but he's seen a lot of success already. Again, finishing top 20 in a PGA Tour event.
Top 20 in a tour event. And so he has proved he can play if he can get there.
Yeah, not too many people can say that.
Yeah.
And so we're grinding. He just got engaged, and I'm not sure if he's set a wedding date yet, but great things are happening for this fine young man, and I'm just trying to, again, keep him on the straight and narrow with his golf swing and his golf game in general. He doesn't need much in the way of major adjustments. Actually, I lied. This last January, we did make a really major adjustment in his swing.
Now I'm curious. Tell me about that.
It was him, actually. He, again, last January, we were working indoors up at Red Ledges in Heber. And he said, we kind of had a coming to Jesus moment and said, hey, it's got to change. I've got to get rid of that left miss. I can't play golf knowing or wondering when that left miss is going to come. We got to get that worked out of the game. And I said, okay, what do you feel about committing to a cut? 100% of the time, cut shots. Dustin Johnson did it. Koepka's done it. I mean, a lot of great players have gone to the cut shot.
Well, you mentioned Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, Jack never. I don't think he ever saw the left side of a golf course.
Nope.
No, he knew everything was going to the right. If he missed it.
When he was a teenager, and I should note that he won the Ohio State Open as a high school kid, but at that point of his golf journey, he was fighting a left-to-left dive snipe that would sneak up once in a while, and he had to make the same choice, hit everything left to right to eliminate the left diver.
Yeah, Hogan was the same way.
Hogan, the same thing.
He said Ben Hogan didn't become Ben Hogan until he knew he could fully release the club and know the ball was not going left. That's pretty amazing.
So what was he doing? Mitchell, what was Mitchell doing to make the ball go left? What did you do to fix it?
Well, he was always very comfortable hitting the draw.
Yeah.
And those of us who are drawers of the golf ball know that if the body stops moving through impact and the hands get a little bit more active, especially under pressure, the club face shuts down and that ball goes more left than we want to. And so when you're hitting a cut shot, you have to make sure, especially that left side of the body, continues to work and rotate through the shot all the time. And you have to have that good face control with your hands to be able to keep that face square so the ball starts left and falls to the right. And so we worked on that over and over and over. We changed his posture. We changed his grip a little bit. We changed ball position. We changed how he stood to the golf ball. He was always very square to the golf ball, swung the club from the inside, square face, ball draws. We had to get him to set up left and feel comfortable because here's the thing. I don't want to hit the ball left, but yet, John, you're asking me to start left. This does not feel good. Yeah. And so we had to get comfortable with starting the body left of target line, starting the ball left of target line, and knowing that ball is going to fall to the right. It was an adjustment. It took a while. It took, for him, it didn't take as long as it might for others, but it was a month and a half for him to feel real comfortable knowing that the ball is starting left and falling back to the right. But anyway, so we were pretty exclusive. He can still draw the ball in command when we need it, wind, or if he's trying to filter one into that back left pin or what have you. But we're cutting the ball. And since he's done that, no left miss. No, he still makes, a double here and there like we all do. It's the game of golf. But he knows that ball's not going left if he misses it.
Man,
so that was big.
That's pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. I could talk about this for a long time, but we got some things we got to do. We need ourselves a UPod update. The UPod update brought to you by our good friends at Scott Golf. Check them out, scottgolf.com. These are the sweetest clubs. You'll just love them. And they are a Utah product. Jan, tell us about the UPods.
All right, let's talk about Zach Blair. A couple weeks ago, Zach was at the Butterfield Bermuda Championship. He unfortunately missed the cut -1, 141 on a round of 76 and 65. This week he was the RSM Classic. He also missed the cut, +1, 143 on rounds of 72 and 71. This is where we're a little bit squirrely because Zach is in danger of losing his card. He sits at 123 right now, so we sit and kind of cross our fingers and hope that Joel Damon doesn't do as well and keep Zach in the 125. 126 to 150 does earn the full Korn Ferry Tour status and conditional status on the tour for next season. So fingers crossed, Zach.
Watch this weekend. As it sits in this moment, Zach Blair, having missed the cut, needs in the final FedEx Fall Tournament of the year. He sits as the bubble boy. 125. He needs to sit and watch what happens the rest of the way. It could work out. It could cost him his card. It's tough.
And he just sits precariously, and as you're watching the tournament, it shows 126, 124. Yeah. It keeps showing where he's at, and it was nerve-wracking. They definitely focused on him yesterday.
And Zach has been here before. He 4 years ago was in this position. Ended up finishing one spot outside, finished number 126. So he's been here before. Yep. We're cheering for Zach.
We are.
We are also cheering for the top of this leaderboard.
You can't even wait till I get there, can you?
Go.
Okay. At the Classic right now, Patrick Fishburne sits solo number 1, -11, 131 on a round of 67 and 64. He had a bogey-free, a -864 for his first lead after any round. Fish has already locked up his card for next year. This is the final tournament for the PGA Tour season, and only the top 125 in the FedEx Cup have full status for 2025.
And if Fish were to win this, it would be his maiden victory.
Yes.
It would do all that comes with a win on the tour. 2 years of exemption, Masters invitation, all the stuff, a big check. It also would put him into the top 60, and on the FedEx list, those who are on the list between 50 and 60 don't have automatic entry into the elevated events, but they have favored status for getting into them when somebody doesn't show up. Plus, it gets them into all of the majors. It is a big deal, big deal.
But he's made such big moves yesterday.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I mean, the moves he made yesterday were just incredible.
Yeah, went up 38 positions yesterday on a bogey-free 64 that included 6 threes in a row. Fun
Eagle,
stuff.
birdie.
Yeah.
And if he wins, how popular is the left-hand low split grip arm lock grip going to become? Everybody's going to try it. Everyone's going to try
Everybody will be
it.
trying it.
So
And
watch this weekend. Watch Fish's putting grip. It's really interesting.
See, I'm a
really unique.
I'm a left-hand low putter.
Yeah, but you're
But
not.
are you
You're not
I'm not
split,
him.
You're
No.
not split.
No,
You're
no,
not
no,
arm
no,
lock.
no.
No,
He's incredible.
Yeah, so he's been searching and experimenting. He's been on the show talking about it. That he has been looking for a way to hold the club and move the club on the green that is comfortable for him. It looks like he's found it.
Yeah.
At least this week.
And with this grip, you need a specific putter to do that. So
yeah, you have to have
everybody
at
home.
Weapon.
If you just try it at home, it's probably not going to work because you need a different putter with a little bit a club with a little bit more forward shaft lean and less loft and all this. Good stuff.
All that stuff.
But it will be interesting. Watch his grip if you're watching golf this weekend.
Yeah, fun stuff. We want to send some love to Darren Overson. Darren is the Zions Bank Player of the Week, presented by Fairways Magazine. In his debut on the Utah Senior Circuit, the recently birthdayed out 50-year-old Darren Overson makes an immediate impact by winning the Ledges Senior Am 36-hole score of -7, 137 for a 3-shot victory. And for that, he is the Zions Bank Player of the Week, presented by Fairways Magazine. We will hear from Darren later in the show.
I love those forward tees. The senior tees are fantastic.
I love them.
We talk with Darren about that. Actually, it's a conversation we recorded last night because Darren's not available this morning. Yes, we talk about
Awesome.
that. Fun stuff. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, speaking of coaches, we're talking to Coach Clegg. Garrett Clegg of the University of Utah is going to join us, talk about the Utes fall. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Yeah. Utah Golf Radio coming at you from the mothership, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah, in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. This first hour of the show is presented by Salt Lake City Golf at slcgolf.com or the Salt Lake City Golf app. And Jan, December 2nd through December 4th, the annual 20% off sale at Salt Lake City Golf will take place, where you can buy gift cards for other people if you're a good person, or if you're not a good person like me, you can buy them for yourself, and you can use the gift cards as a prepaid discounted green fee mechanism for the next year, which is what I do every year. I buy these each December, John, and then I use them on the Salt Lake City golf courses the next year.
I like to put things into my own stocking.
I'm with you, man. Thank you.
Because when you open up your stocking, you know you're going to like it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes, go get a gift card and put it in your own stocking.
And Jan was giving me grief as I was explaining this a couple of shows ago. And I said, no, actually, I use this as a tool to buy my green fees in advance. So December 2nd through December 4th at slcgolf.com. All right. We are joined now by Garrett Clegg, head coach of the University of Utah Utes. Garrett, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So glad to have you, Coach. There's so much to talk about. Let me start with this. Congratulations. You are the Don Reddish Award winner for the 2024 for the University of Utah, given to the leader of an Olympic sport at the U that has had the most successful season. Yep, that would be you. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that.
I do want to know, you've got to have looked around the office complex there at the Huntsman and seen other people win this. What does it feel like for you to win it?
Well, it's a great honor, and it's funny you look at these awards, and the way I look at them is this recognizes my players as much as anything else. You know, we've got great players, we have great young men. They had a fantastic year. And as last time I checked, I don't hit any golf shots out there. So my scores don't ever count, but theirs do. And so this is a reflection on them. And I'm proud to win the award. I'm grateful that my department felt like our program had the best year here, and so that's really cool. But I do want to say that, if my players shot 80 every day, I wouldn't win the award. So they've done an amazing job, and they've worked extremely hard. And this is a true reflection on who they are as young men and where our program's going.
Coach, if your players were shooting 80 every day, we would have to have a serious off-mic conversation about your recruiting.
Yeah, I know.
Coach John Papour here. I've been to your facility, your indoor facility there. It's awesome. But I have to ask, what is in the water there that is making these guys go crazy low? You had some amazingly awesome scores this fall in particular.
Yeah, if I had a formula that could accurately predict that, John, I'd that this would be the national coach of the year, not the department coach of the year. But our boys, we've got. I tell this all the time. We've got great players. You've seen these guys when we've been up to Red Ledges a little bit, and they are really, really high quality golfers. And so, and everybody knows in golf, sometimes putts go in, sometimes they don't. And we had a couple of weeks where a lot of putts went in for a number of our players. And so hopefully we can do that again. Our facility on campus is a great help, a great training tool. Our golf courses that we get to play are huge helps, huge training tools that make us a lot better. We play the best courses around, and that helps these guys prepare for golf tournaments. So it's a combination of everything, but at the end of the day, it rests on the shoulders of these young men that are, it's their goal to get back to the national championship and get to match play this year. I mean, that's what they're shooting for, and they know it's going to take a ton of work, and they're putting in the time.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Coach, just as a side note, you guys are always welcome at Red Ledges, just so you know.
Thank you. We love it. It's
but yeah,
great.
playing tough golf courses, that's what it takes to make you a better player. I did have one question, or another question. You've brought in the past several years a lot of European, and this year in particular, Spaniard players. How difficult is it to recruit these kids, and what do you do to get them to join?
So the recruiting process is different with every young man. We've had a lot of success. I mean, you'll point back to some of the first Europeans we've had in our program. We had 2 Swedes and a Spaniard that started about 7 years ago when they first started to come to the University of Utah. And it took a lot to get those young men here. And Javier Barcos, who graduated last year, had a ton of success here at the University of Utah. He came in and he was kind of a fringe national team player, about their 7th, 8th best player in their country. And by the time he left our program, he was one of their top 2 or 3 players in the country. Everybody knew his name. He'd done some amazing things back in Spain and was a huge ambassador for us. And so that's really what helped us get Sergio here. And Sergio was a much, much more accomplished player than Javi as a junior golfer. And he's come in and, just in year 2 has set every scoring record that we have now in that first tournament of the year this year, 18 hole, 36 hole, 54 hole, And so really the first one was probably the tougher of the 2. And then now we go over to Spain and recruit. They know us and they know that we help players improve, and they know we play in a world-class schedule, and we can get into their homes, whereas we're not just some totally random brand. So this coming fall, we'll have 2 Spaniards that will get here, and they're 2 outstanding players. And so we'll actually have 3 in the program from the country of Spain. So the better we play, the easier it is to recruit globally, and the more recognizable the drum and feather is wherever I go. So it's just sort of steamrolls, really.
Coach, we want to talk about these great players, but I want, first of all, to go to something we were talking about with John here in a previous segment. John, of course, coming off a win with the Park City Miners as the state champs in 4A high school, and he was talking about how hard it is to sit by and watch other players. You're invested, you're nervous. That's your job. How is it for you?
Well, the first week of the year, it was really easy because everywhere you turned, they were making birdies. But no, ultimately, you just want so much success for them. You see how much hard work they put in, and you try your best. In my shoes, I'm with these guys every single day. I see them every day. I work with their game all the time, not necessarily on the golf swing. I usually don't work a whole lot on their golf swings, but I work a lot on decision making, on preparation, on kind of the finer things of shooting a score. And so when you're out there, I do get nervous. I will say that. I do.
I just emailed you a picture of Darren Overson. See if you can use that on the next segment.
I know how bad they want it too, because they give their whole heart and soul to it, and so I want it that badly as well for them. So it's kind of a different thing. I want them to succeed, and we push hard to succeed together, and it's a lot of fun when we do, and you feel the heartbreak when you don't, and you try and help them learn lessons so that they're better prepared the next time they're in that situation.
Well, succeed they have done, and we've had you on the show to talk about your wins this fall, and you, of course, are being recognized nationwide for this. As we sit here on the 3 ranking services, you are ranked number 15 in the country, number 15 in the country, number 17 in the country, top 20 in all of the ranking services, and this is new and well-earned, well-deserved territory for the University of Utah and for you and for your program. What does it mean to you? What does it feel like to be a top 20 team now?
It's awesome. It's really cool, and we talk about it openly with the team, and the goal is to be a top 10 team by the end of the year, not in the middle of the year. Middle of the year is great. It's fun. But if that distracts you from work, or if that makes you kind of, lose focus on what the real plan is and what the goal is, then you've got your head kind of in the wrong space. So we love it. We're super pumped. We know we have a great team. These guys know that. And I don't mean that in a cocky or arrogant way. They're just confident in who they are. And they know they're really good golfers, and as a product of that, you're going to be ranked high. And so the key is not being distracted by that and making a big deal out of it. It is a big deal. It's great. It's awesome, but that ranking doesn't shoot a score either. You shoot the score, and the ranking comes after you shoot the score, not before. So you can't get lost and caught up with all of those things. It's fun. It's cool. It's awesome. We're not like hiding from it or shirking from it. We acknowledge it. We're excited about it. But the end of the day, the end of the year, we want to be at La Costa, and we want to find a way to get into that top 8 and get into match play. Like that's what we talk about, and that's what we focus on.
I love that. There is one other question about this that I want to ask you before we need to let you go. Sure. You have accomplished this incredibly well-played fall and accomplished this high ranking with, to be candid, your best and highest ceiling player, Braxton Watts, not living up to his full potential. When he gets his game going, which I know he will, when he starts going stupid low, which we know he does, where do you see this team being?
So I know he will too. This is golf. It's very hard to have 5 guys clicking, 100% week in and week out. So the ebbs and flows of it, hopefully we do. Brandon Robinson, he did not record a round over par for us in the entire fall.
Wow.
That's an amazing statistic. That's an incredible job that he did. These guys, if one starts struggling, the other will pick up the slack. And, I would say it would be awesome if somehow we have a tournament where all 5 have their A game. If we have a tournament where all 5 are clicking, we turned enough heads in the fall, but I think we'll give people neck pains by looking at the scores. So Braxton's awesome. He's working extremely hard. I can tell you nobody wants it or is more aware of it than he is, that he didn't have his best stuff, and he is bound and determined to have that come this spring. And so, but realistically, you never have 5 guys finish in the top 5 or top 10.
Yeah.
And we've got every one of these guys individually, when we tee it up, can finish in the top 5, top 10 on their own when they're playing their very best. And they've all proven that because they've all done it. And so will we have a week where that happens? I hope so. That'd be amazing. But the reality is golf doesn't really work that way. And so Braxton will be ready. Braxton will come through for us big time this coming spring. And the hope is we get all 5 going as good as we can. But that's golf.
Well, I hope it happens at La Costa. There's no question that you'll be at regionals. There's no question you've got all the game to get to La Costa to the national finals. And, Coach, 2 of the consistent characteristics of highly successful college golf teams are, number 1, internal competition, and number 2, that your 4 and 5 guys have the ability to win a tournament. And you've got both. And Brandon Robinson is showing that right this fall. And holy cow, it is impressive, and it speaks to the great job that you are doing over time there at the University of Utah. I'm deeply impressed and really excited. What a great fall. We're looking forward to the spring.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and so am I. I'm ready to get going, but it'll be good to have a couple of months where we relax.
And Coach, I would add one more thing to that, camaraderie. That plays a big part in team chemistry, and it seems as though your team gets along really well with one another and with you, and it's great to see success, but yet having fun doing it.
Yeah, and I've kind of always I always believe in the theory that as the tide rises, the boats rise too. So as all these boys, love each other, work together, push each other, they make every single player in this program better. So we do it all together as much as we can.
That is great stuff. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, that is Coach Garrett Clegg, the University of Utah. They have had themselves a fall, John.
Man, have they? Like I said, he didn't really answer my question of what is in the water there.
He's not
but
telling you.
whatever that is, I want some.
You want some?
Okay, but the Layton Center, I do think, speaks to, especially that last point you just made. The team has a really cool place that is comfortable, that
they all hang out
that
at,
they
and
hang
they
out
spend
at.
time together.
They spend time together, and there's tools there to work on their games, to work on their academics. They can eat there, all the stuff they need. It matters. And the top college programs have these facilities, and that's one of the reasons why.
Yeah, it's amazing. And a really cool pool table as well.
Yeah. Well, they have video games, they have kitchen, they have everything. It's wonderful.
I've been able to run the pool table a couple times up there with Mitchell, so it's an awesome facility.
Wow. Okay. Great stuff. All right. We got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we will talk with D.O., Darren Overson, about his win in his inaugural senior event. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Things and Stuff, brought to you by Stretch Zone here on Utah Golf Radio. The things and stuff we love to do. One of the things is to go to Stretch Zone. Go to stretchzone.com. Check them out. You can arrange for your free introductory assisted stretch at stretchzone.com. You got to do this, folks. This will make you feel better, make you play better. Stretchzone.com. And one of the things we love to do, Jan, is play tournaments. Tournament season wrapped up for 2024 this last week at the Ledges Senior Am, one of the real sparkly events on the UGA public schedule and for the seniors. And Darren Overson, John, you know Darren.
I do. Yep, excellent player.
Oh yeah, holy cow!
Just turned 50, so this is his first, or was his first senior event. And as we said earlier in the show, we love the senior tees.
You're too young to know about that, John.
I just turned 50 myself.
I do know that.
So, yes, I've been enjoying, getting a bunch of flack from my assistants at work, my younger assistants that say, oh, you got to go up to the senior tee. But I've enjoyed hitting it at least up to them and sometimes past them using the forward tee.
Yeah. Overson shot a -7, 137 on rounds of 73 and a really shiny little 64 the second day for like a 3-shot victory over William Hokeson, who came in at -4, 140. The top 5 was rounded out with Brett Hess, Shane McMillan, and Fred Larson all at +1, 145. We had a chance, I noted this earlier in the show, chance to talk with Overson last night. He's not available this morning, and I wanted to hear all about this. So here is Darren Overson describing his win in the Ledges Senior Am.
I did.
Yeah. So a double and a triple in a row. At that point, were you thinking, "Gosh, maybe I am old"?
I don't know. It was definitely some bad decisions for sure, and the kind of stuff you shouldn't do when you're older, right? You know better than that.
Yeah. Well, look, that water left on number 9 is set. It is there to make you hit a dumb shot. Anybody to make. The whole point of that is try to be a hero, and you are not the first in line to get sucked into number 9.
Yeah.
But let's change the tone here. You finished terrific. You finished your round going birdie, birdie, birdie to get it back to +1 for a 73. Tell us about that strong finish.
Yeah, so kind of as I got through 16, which is another hole, I just didn't really know where to hit it. I made bogey there.
Yeah.
I did birdie 4 out of the last 5 holes to get it back to 73. And honestly had no clue how anyone else was doing or where that fit, or in the group I was playing with, it was pretty good, but no clue. So yeah, just the wind kind of calmed down the last 6 or 7 holes, and I hit some good second shots in there, close enough to make some putts, and 2-putted the last hole for birdie, number 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good.
Very nice. So that puts you in the final group. And on the shotgun, you tee off on number 1 the second day. And you're in the mix, but not leading, but in the mix. But you start off gangbusters going birdie, par, eagle, 1, 2, and 3. After having birdied 1, 2, and 3 because you shotgun started on 4 the previous day. Boy, you were owning those first 3 holes, man.
Yeah, I just felt comfortable. I mean, number 1, just not knowing exactly where to hit it the first day, but still was able to make a birdie and felt way more comfortable the second day. And made a good par on 2. And then, I had I hit my second shot to about probably 25 feet with a 3-foot break, and somehow, found the bottom of the hole. So, it was 3 under after 3. It was good. You got off to a good start.
Another 3 in a row, birdies on 6, 7, and 8. What was going there?
Yeah, so 6 shorter par 4 back up the hill.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And hit a good drive, and then just hit a second shot to about 5 feet and made it, and hit the par 5 7th and 2, and had a 30-foot eagle putt. I logged up there to a couple feet and made it. The 8, I kind of thought I could get it there. It was a little bit into the wind. It was playing, just over 300. I think it was 325 yards. And kind of short-sided myself, but hit a really, really good second shot that almost went in, hit the pin. I had about a 6-incher left for birdie there. So, yeah, some good second shots, and that allowed me to make some good birdies.
So coming down the stretch, played it really, really solid, getting it back into the clubhouse. Birdies on 10 and 11, then pars, birdie 16, so you figured that one out. Meanwhile, Hokason, pretty steady, but he gave a shot back on 15 and then never caught up to you again. And at that point, you had a bit of a lead anyway. What was it like coming down the stretch?
I mean, it was, honestly, Paul, until I stood on 18 tee box, I had no clue where I was in the tournament. So I didn't know if the guys in front of me were playing well, the guys that were leading, and if they were playing well. And I stood up on the 18th hole, and one of the guys I was playing with told me that I had a 3-shot lead. I was kind of actually a little shocked. So just shows a conservative play there. I know that that Will had made bogey on 15, and it kind of separated us a little bit. But so I knew where he was, but I didn't know where anyone else was. And just made a solid par on the last hole, and and Randy was there taking pictures. It was kind of strange. So, but fun to do for real. So.
Well, it's nice to have you with the seniors, Darren. We've been waiting, knowing that when you got here, you would change the balance of power, and that's what's happening. Not a surprise. But what are your plans now with this? Is this something you'll pursue? Will we see more of you?
You know what? It's funny because I do believe like the senior schedule allows me to play more events just because they don't always fall on the weekend. You know, I have some other commitments on Sunday that I can't play most Sundays, and so I'm hoping to play a lot more senior events that are during the week, which will be great. But still try to mix in there with the mid-ams and the amateurs and some other events also. But yeah, so I anticipate playing kind of a mixed schedule and playing more senior events, obviously, than I have in the past because I wasn't eligible. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Well, that's cool. And it's very clear you're going to be one to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. But holy cow, what a great start. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Paul. I really appreciate it.
So that's Darren Overson coming off his win at the Ledges-Am down in St. George, as distinguished from Red Ledges, where John Papor, our guest co-host today, is the head golf professional. But John, not a surprise, but still very impressive what D.O. did, winning by 3 in his first senior event.
Not a surprise, but kind of a surprise.
How so?
Months ago, remember when you told me that you cannot win on the PGA Tour if you make a double bogey?
Double bogey, yeah.
You know, that, yeah, when I was looking at his card and I saw what he did on those back-to-back holes going double-triple.
Double-triple.
I was like, whoa, how did he get through that? But he did.
And coming off with a win. Well,
yeah.
How do you do that is you make a bunch of birdies and eagles to follow that up. So
yeah,
that's how you do that.
He had 2 stretches of 3 birdies in a row. He made an eagle the second day. Yeah, so that's how you do that. But back to your point, it only 24% of the time, we'll call it a quarter, 1 in 4, does a winner on the PGA Tour have a double bogey over the course of 72 holes. Only 1 in 4 times. And the math is pretty simple. If you make a bogey, you can recover by making a birdie. If you make a double, you've doubled that burden to get back to zero, to where you were. It's hard.
It is true. Very, very difficult, but not to let that get you down. You make a double, it's not the end of the world.
No.
Let's go fight and get it back.
Let's do that.
That would be my coaching instructions for that. It happens. So go make some putts and get those shots back.
You're really getting into this coach thing, aren't you?
I try. Like I said, being a coach,
John,
being a teacher, and
being a coach now, has it changed anything in your teaching of your students?
Has it changed?
Or giving you something?
Yes. So normally in an instructional lesson, you're working on mechanics of the swing, which I still do that. But being a coach is now more, like Coach Clegg said earlier, it's more encompassing in terms of preparation, game plan, mental and physical well-being. Like it's all encompassing as opposed to just, here, do this with your grip or move that ball up here and change your stance, this and that. That's very important. But being a coach, it's more all-encompassing of the individual to get that person ready to succeed.
Well said. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we will talk with Carter Randall, the president of the Ogden Golf and Country Club, about the Corn Ferry Tour moving north to Ogden next year. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. 9 o'clock on a Saturday. That means Utah Golf Radio coming to you live today from the beautiful downtown studios of ESPN 700. We are in the mothership, getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah, in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. Paul Pugmire and Jan Brownstein with you today. We are joined by our good friend, the head golf professional at Red Ledges and the head coach at the state champion Park City Miners. That's John Papore. And this second hour of the show is presented by Mountain Land Equipment. Mountain Land Power.
Power equipment.
Power equipment. Okay.
You know, Mountain
Land Power.
Mountain Land Power. No, they're taking on.
I
know. They sell everything else.
Yeah, really, right? I wouldn't have been surprised.
No.
Mountain Land Power Equipment. Check them out at
mountainlandpowerequipment.com.
Funny how they do that.
I know.
Very creative.
Well, you know, they're trying to make it easy for us.
And for all all your power equipment needs, including.
I know.
I'm not going to say it. You say it.
Snowblowers. Get into Mountain Land Power Equipment and check out the Boss system.
John, you live at Jeremy. You got a snowblower.
I've already used it.
You have?
No.
Yes, I tried.
What kind of snowblower do you have?
What is it? It's like a Swedish name. Hunstrunk. I don't even know. It's a big one and a powerful one, and you need it up there.
Is it a riding one?
I know.
No. But I started to shovel the driveway, and then up my driveway, the snow got like thicker and thicker.
Heavier.
I'm like, what am I doing?
Yes.
John, you
Get
are
the
50 now.
snowblower. I know.
The senior
snowblower
tees,
is your friend.
The senior tees require a snowblower.
And I've got 2 teenage boys. I should have them be doing it, but no.
Exactly.
They were in bed while I'm snowblowing.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. We are joined now by Carter Randall, the president of the Ogden Golf and Country Club, and he's going to give us the inside backroom deets on how the Korn Ferry Tour moved north to the OGCC. Carter Randall, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, everybody.
Carter, we're so glad to have you with us today. Big news coming out of the Ogden Golf and Country Club here a couple of weeks ago that the Utah Sports Commission and you guys have reached an agreement to move the Utah Championship on the Korn Ferry Tour to the Ogden Golf and Country Club starting this summer 2025. First of all, congratulations, man. What a nice get.
Yeah, no, we're all very excited. It's been quite an undertaking, but yeah, the whole club's behind it, and it's been a lot of work, but they've been great to work with. Jeff over there at the Utah Sports Commission's been fantastic, and the PGA guys have been fantastic as well.
We want to hear about how it all came together, and you just said something that we kind of need to assume but can't be taken as a given. The whole club needs to be behind this. This is a big ask for the membership who normally don't join a club to not be able to play golf. And yet,
yeah, no, it is a big ask, and I was curious as how we did a survey, and it was 80-20 across the membership. You know, it's probably not something the board was going to be willing to just dictate. They wanted to really get the temperature of the membership, and they're very excited. You know, Weaver County and Ogden doesn't have a whole lot of some of the same bang that you see in Salt Lake or Davis or Utah County. So the opportunity to bring the Korn Ferry up to Ogden, it was a very prideful event for the membership.
Tell us about the steps, how it all came together.
It was actually, I think it was Bob Wallace, the pro up there, was approached. Mainly with whispers that the Korn Ferry might be looking for a new site. He floated out that we'd be interested in being looked at, and a couple guys from the PGA came out, and we toured the golf course for about 3 hours and kind of went over some of the concerns that they had about the golf course and some of the things they really liked about the golf course. That just led to excuse me, a few more meetings and Zoom calls. Jeff from the Utah Sports Commission came in, and we just started to try to kind of penciled to this together. Obviously, we didn't want to really discuss it much because the event up at Oak Ridge was kind of yet to take place that year. So it started quite some time ago.
Interesting. I'm very curious about what characteristics of the OGCC the tour people liked, what characteristics they didn't. I've got a couple of guesses, but what were they saying?
You know, it was as you know, Paul, we just had the state am there, and we just finished a major bunker renovation project, added some tees, added some length, and I think maybe that kind of, you know, was out there and maybe started that drumbeat a little bit. They thought the golf course itself was great. They enjoyed the layout. They thought it would be player friendly and patron friendly layout for the event. The only real concern they had was just the driving range, and the tee box in the driving range was not big enough to be able to support that much play by the 150 guys out there. So that was something that we had to address, and we are currently addressing and redoing the driving range tee. We've taken it from about 7,000 square feet up to about 16,000 square feet. Provides about 150 feet of width in the front, so you should be able to get everybody out there, and so which at the end of the day will be a great thing for the membership as well, because it's always been really undersized.
That would totally make sense to me. They had to like some of the slope, some of the severity of the greens. I am going to camp next to the number 5 green and watch those guys miss low time and time again.
Yeah,
over and over again. Yeah, no, they did. They enjoyed the greens. The greens, you know how they are. They all have just a real general slope, typically from back to front. That with some pace, too much pace, they become unplayable. With the amount of slope they have up there. So they'll have a challenge. The greens, I think, will do their best to defend the golf course. I know they want the rough long. I'm pretty sure the membership will deal with having to have really deep rough before and after they play, just so they can see these guys kind of duke it out on that golf course and try to hold greens from thick rough.
Really?
Yeah, I think Ogden's going to be a wonderful venue for this tournament. Years ago, back then it was the web.com guys came out to Red Ledges to see if Red Ledges would be feasible to host this, and determined it wasn't, because Red Ledges is not very walkable. It's very up and down and not very spectator friendly. And so having those two at Ogden being walkable, very walkable, and very spectator friendly, to where you can see a lot of holes from different spots. And also, if you do have inclement weather, being able to get those patrons and the players off the golf course at Red Ledges, that would have been a major task just to do that alone. So all that comes into play. And it's an awesome golf course.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love Ogden.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
And John's point, Carter, about the accessibility for the fans, for the patrons, to see several holes at once. There's a half a dozen different places on that course where you can be in a small general area and see 3 holes.
Yeah,
and
right.
Which is really cool. I love that about Ogden.
Yeah, no, I think there's some spots out there where you can be watching 14 green, 15 tee, and 15 tee and green, and 16 tee box, and there's several places out there where you can really have a bird's eye view over a lot of the golf course and not be in play, you know what I mean, and not be a bother.
Mm-hmm.
And we're really hoping that one of the things that we're going to try to do, like I mentioned, Ogden is a pretty proud town, and so we're working with South Ogden, and Weber County, and to help with the marketing and try to get as many Weber County folks out there to come and watch and see these future PGA stars and give them something that they can kind of hang their hat on. So that's really going to be the push, is try to make this as big a community event as possible.
Yeah, and getting the youth involved too, I'm sure, is a big part of it. Having the kids out there, seeing the older older guys compete and saying, "Wow, this is what I want to do when I grow up," is a big deal. Can I go back?
Agree.
Can I go back real quick to the range? Is the range being widened, meaning like from right to left? Because I played there and it's awesome, but there wasn't a ton of space. Did you guys have to move dirt around?
So yeah, this was an interesting thing. If you remember the range, it kind of sits in a gully.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sat there and thought, well, how do we widen this tee box exactly? And with the architects, what he basically said is, well, let's do this. Let's remove some of the trees on the right towards the Washington Boulevard, and let's just raise the elevation. And as we raise the elevation, it gets wider and wider just by the natural topograph of the hillsides on either side. So
Yep.
as it comes up in height, it gets wider and wider. And so they raised it up to just a little bit above the height as to where the mats used to be, which was a lot. They just about have all the dirt. It's almost 5,000 yards of
Wow.
dirt. So
Yeah.
it's been quite an undertaking. But most of the dirt is in place. We'll probably need about another couple feet across the top, and then we'll shape it and then cap it with sand. And we're running out of time this year. But hopefully the Wagner Golf is doing the construction. They're going to try to get to the main line, has to be adjusted. All the heads will have to be adjusted. They're going to try to get that done before spring, if they have decent days. And then first thing in the spring, they'll come out and do kind of some final shaping, and then we'll lay the sod and then stay off of it until the Corn Ferry gets here.
Well, you do have a demonstrated record of having taken on big projects and gotten them done for competition in time with the bunker project prior to the state am. That was very impressive how y'all pulled that off. And,
that was a lot of work. If you remember that,
I do.
That spring we were supposed to start work was the longest winter of all time, and so what was supposed to be a quick 2-month project right at the beginning of the season turned into a full season project. It was quite a battle. But everybody, including the architect and the construction company and the membership, just kind of fought right through it.
Well, it's very cool. We're very happy for you, proud of what you're doing, and quite looking forward to seeing these great players in this great event take on the Ogden Country Club. Thank you so much for joining us, Carter, and telling us all about it. More to come on this one, right?
Yes, much more to come on this one. I look forward to seeing you guys all next summer, and I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. That's Carter Randall, president of the Ogden Golf and Country Club, talking about the Corn Ferry going to Ogden. Jan, this is no small thing.
No.
And one of the things that Carter said that really got my attention was he said, we are a proud community. There are very few towns I've seen anywhere in the United States that promote and celebrate their community history as well as Ogden does. The Ogden Country Club is one of those places. They've got a whole bunch of history display in that clubhouse. This adds to a really stellar and impressive history. I can't wait to see this all go down.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, again, they just had the state am and then followed up by this. That's a great get.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun. All right, we need to talk about somebody who needs some relief. I need some relief, brought to us by Farmer and Chemist. Jan, Farmer and Chemist, farmerandchemist.com. They can get you some relief.
They can 20% off. Don't forget Utah Golf. Put in Utah Golf, and you get 20% off your purchase in store or online at farmerandchemist.com.
I'll tell you who needs some relief this week. That would be the rest of the field at the Hong Kong Open, where love him or hate him.
I hate him.
Fair enough. Patrick Reed yesterday on the last 4 holes goes birdie, 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 birdie to shoot 59 and pull out with a 4-shot lead going into the weekend at the Hong Kong Open. A 59 for Patrick Reed, leaving the rest of the field needing some relief.
Ew.
That's golf, John.
I know. Ew.
I bet he didn't make a double during that 59.
Oh,
As we
ew.
talked
Matter of
about
fact,
earlier.
it was a clean card, but
Yeah.
Dang.
All right. Jan, we are experimenting with a new video system here at
We
ESPN 700. Everybody, if you got a minute, click on the 7.
Go to YouTube.
You go to YouTube, youtube.com. Find the ESPN 700 page,
ESPN
and
700 Sports.
you can see ESPN 700 Sports on YouTube.com, and you can
Paul.
see a live stream. And one of the things you will see is how dang good looking I am in my Primo. Jan, tell us what's going on with Primo.
You know that it's almost Black Friday.
Almost.
It's next week. So Primo is doing their biggest sale ever. Their Black Friday sale starts on Monday and goes until December 2nd. Enter the code BF25 and you will get 25% off your purchase. And they have and also watch for their social media on Instagram and Facebook because they're going to drop new colors, new product through the holiday season. But again, from November 25th to December 2nd, enter the code BF25 and you will get 25% off your purchase.
Get your Primo gear,
PrimoGolfApparel.com.
All right. Check them out. We got to take a break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to talk with one of your colleagues, John, with Darcy Olson from Glenmore. She's being recognized as the Utah Golf Association Woman of the Year. Darcy Olson, when we come back, you are listening to Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Yeah, Utah Golf Radio. Getting you inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah in partnership with Utah's leading golf organizations, the Utah Golf Association, the Utah Section, PGA, Fairways Media, the Utah Golf Foundation, the Utah Golf Course Superintendents Association, the Utah Junior Golf Association, and First Tee Utah. This second hour of the show is brought to you by Mountain Land Power Equipment. Check them out at mountainlandpowerequipment.com. Did I get that right, Jen?
You got it.
Hey.
I like it.
I'm teachable.
I know.
We are joined now by Darcy Olson, who is the 2024 Utah Golf Association Woman of the Year, the Woman Award. This is a really big deal, and there are 100 reasons why Darcy won it. We're going to talk to her about a few of them right now. Darcy Olson, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yes, close enough.
Okay.
Yeah, we're ready.
We're sitting here. I should have noted we're sitting here with John Papor, one of your colleagues, and just hearing your voice. Holy cow! I love you, Darcy, and you know, I hang out at Glenmore, so John, I get to see this smile and hear that voice, but that alone is reason for you to get the award, Darcy, because everybody who goes to Glenmore gets greeted with love and cheerfulness. How grand is that?
Well, that is nice. I'm pretty lucky. I make lots of good friends at work, so I'm pretty lucky.
That is a cool thing. Let's get serious here for a minute, Darcy. You are being given this award for a body of work. Any one part of what you do is noteworthy, but it is the cumulative effect of everything that really sets you apart. Junior programs, women's programs, changes to the physical plant, to the support facilities, to the golf course itself, all of which are designed around the golfer. And as somebody who plays at Glenmore a lot, let me get just really down in the dirt. You improved the bathrooms out on the course. It really makes a difference.
And that's huge coming from a guy, Darcy.
I know.
Well,
For
look,
sure.
the layout of the course is you can get pretty far from the clubhouse
Yeah.
at a couple of places. And I just congratulations, Darcy. At all this stuff, is there any part of it that sets apart in your mind where you go, look, this is more important to me, or this is what really matters to me? I'm interested in how you view this multifaceted accomplishment you've been making there.
That's a loaded question. I don't know. You know what? I love the variety of it. If I had to go into an office and sit at a desk and kind of do the same thing every day, I don't think I'd be very happy. So to be able to have just a variety of programs and tournaments and interact with people and you know, it's every day, and every day is a little bit different. But I love putting on events. I love having programs. It is a lot of work, but I love having our fireworks show on the 24th of July, and all of the kids that are in our programs and families come and hang out that night and have a party. So I don't know. I just love kind of every touch point of it. I love interacting. I'm glad that we brought PGA Hope and meeting these veterans and hearing their stories and giving them a place to come. The junior program, I really love a little bit of all of it. And really, I get to work with really awesome people. I have such a good team, and so grateful to be surrounded by such good people. And it's a cool place to get to go to work. So I don't know. There's a lot of things. I thought about this award, and really, like the Utah Golf Association, that's where it all starts for people and for golfers. And I have so many good memories growing up and participating in UJGA and having that affiliated association with the UGA and so many good people. One of my best memories is when Tony Guest took the girls to Junior America's Cup. We got lost in the van going to Cody, Wyoming. So I just have so many good memories with my family and so many good relationships and people, and to be able to do that as my career as an adult and give back and do it with my family. So there's just so many cool aspects. I don't think there's just one. I just love the variety.
I love that answer, John. I asked her what stands out, and she starts clicking off this list of of one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, and apparently one thing can't stand out.
Well,
No.
weren't you part of the group that saved Glenmore
Yes.
from
Oh,
development?
let's go
I
mean,
back to
let's
that
go
a
there.
few years
Pretty darn
ago.
big
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been I can't even believe it. It's been 8 years. We were at our regional championship in Oregon, and I was coming down to the last couple holes, and we weren't going to win. I knew we had to win these last few and get the points, and we didn't make it, but they played great, and I was so excited, and it was the waterworks, and I just started crying. And Laura Frick with National PGA Junior League, she came up to me at the end, and she's like, "We need your scores." And I turned around, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry that you lost," because I was crying so hard. And I go, "No, I'm not crying because we lost. I'm crying because these kids are aging out. They've been with me for 8 years, and they were there for the Save Glenmore. They were just these little kids in their junior league shirts picketing at city council members' houses, coming to all the meetings, and now they're signing college scholarship getting offers and moving on, going on church missions, going to school, starting their careers and their lives. And what a cool thing to come full circle and look back on all the successes and where we are now. I can't imagine if Glenmore was gone. I would be devastated.
Yeah.
I'm just so glad.
The whole community would be
the whole community.
devastated.
That's just what I was going to
Yeah.
say. I know this community. I lived there for 17 years.
Yep.
It would fundamentally change in a negative way.
Yes,
that
agreed.
community if Glenmore wasn't there. And
Yep.
I'm a golf nerd. I get that, but I'm saying big picture.
But I think the
beyond
community
golf.
realized it when
It
they
did.
almost lost Glenmore and
did.
how they really came out and said, no.
Yeah, but Darcy
Yeah.
Olsen stood at
Yep,
the center
at the
of
helm
that
of
and
that.
made it happen.
Yep, absolutely.
And I appreciate you mentioning that these kids are growing up and doing things. We should note that just this week, Darcy, 2 of your junior players signed letters of intent to play in college, J.J. Tomsick and Elliott Bond. No small
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yes, I'm so proud of them. It's so awesome, and they earned it.
Yeah, they
good
did.
Things require effort, and they surely put in a lot of effort. So it's awesome.
I want to talk about what you're doing to expand the reach of golf for women. Talk about what you're doing with PJ Hope. Let's focus on that for those 2 things for a minute.
Yeah, you know what? I've always just tried to have multiple female instructors and coaches at Glenmore. And, clearly me being a female, people search that. Women search for other women to teach them. And that's a comfort zone for them. And, it worked. It worked because we have got, the numbers show in who I have show up. The ladies play our ladies league. This was our record year this year. We added a 9-hole league last year, and it really kind of took fire this year. And we have a 9-hole club championship and an 18-hole club championship. So we have a ton of women that come play in the afternoon after work, and it really has expanded. And that makes me so happy because when I got there, it was, we maybe would get on a good day, 25 ladies that would play. So now we're over 60 ladies that play in our league, and young girls play in it as well. So I'm really glad to see that grow. And we in our PGA Hope program as well, we usually get quite a few women that come and participate in that. So I've made some great connections and friendships with some of the ladies, and a few of them have signed up for our ladies league, and they come on Tuesdays. So that's really rewarding, and I love that so much. I always try to have a few cart girls that work for us, some girls that work on the staff, and they're always great employees, and really just have that presence, and they see me out there playing and participating and doing it, and they want to come be a part of it. So I love to see our junior numbers in girls grow. This year we had several all-girls junior league teams. So to be able to do that and field a couple full girls teams, it just makes me so excited. I just love it. And to watch the national championship, there were several teams that were all girls around the country. So it's pretty rewarding. It's awesome. And a record number of girls ladies that have joined PGA of America as PGA associates. So it's awesome. I love it.
One of the things that so matters in this context is, especially for the girls, they are made to feel welcome and valued. You totally do that, and it's very clear that you teach your staff to, because there's a welcoming atmosphere for the kids there. But it matters that they can look at the boss and see you. I think it really matters for the girls to be able to look up and see themselves. What does that mean to you?
Thank you. Sorry. You do this to me every time, Paul. I cry every time, I think. Oh, you know what? I'm just so lucky. I have such good staff, and really, they're my friends. They're my
your
I
kids.
feel like they're family members, my kids, and they're just good people. Our theme, our travel team theme is, because I've said for years, I'm like, look, we're building good humans first. Golf is a bonus. So our theme is #GHF, Good Humans First, and we have a Good Human of the Month award, and it's, and my staff exemplifies that. I'm so grateful that they're a part of that. But really, that's just always been my focus is, look, there's so much more to it than just the golf part of it. Yes, people come and recreate, and they come and spend their extra time and their extra money, and I'm grateful that they choose Glenmore. But also, Glenmore is, I call it the People's Country Club, but it is people's club. It's their home club. They're proud to wear Glenmore logo. They're proud to be affiliated with it. I've had so many people reach out and congratulate me on this award, and just, at our year-end awards party, I had one of our junior league families, they put on a luau for us, and the mom, they're from Hawaii, and she did this dance for me, this dedicatory dance, and the song was about, being the mother and being the representative, and I'm the mother of Glenmore and all these people, and I just make so many good friendships and so many good connections and so many good memories of me learning there and growing up, and it just has all come full circle, and I couldn't be more lucky and in such a good spot in my career, my life.
I love that. Well, Darcy, the entire Utah golf community is aware of you, proud of you. So happy that you're a part of our community, a part of what we do here in Utah, but especially as one who is privileged and fortunate to be a patron of yours. Thank you. I love Glenmore, love what you do there. I love that it is such a welcoming environment for the kids. That matters. Just so good what you do there, Darcy.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
Well deserved, Darce. Thanks for everything
Thanks,
you do.
John. Thank
Mad
you.
representing Darce.
All right.
I like it.
All right. Thank you so much. That is Darcy Olson. John.
Can we just give her a cape?
Well, the thing, she is high energy. You hear that, and it's that is necessary to keep all the balls in the air that she does. Boy, howdy, she takes on a lot, John.
Yeah, we kind of skipped past that part. How I remember, she said 8 years ago, how Glenmore was going to go under construction and be developed into condos or what have you, and she was part of the group and got the kids picketing and whatnot, and to save that golf course. And if you've been there, you know the golf course is awesome, but it truly is a community center with the indoor space they have and the TrackMan units and this and that, but they've got this awesome little outdoor barbecue spot where you can sit down. Like, it is true. It's truly a community space.
I appreciate you mentioning that. The patio, which has a curtain. That's not a really good term, but I'll stick with it.
Pergola.
Yeah, but it's a curtain mechanism that allows you to keep the wind out, keep the cold air out, make it a really livable outdoor facility on very hot or very cold days. The gathering place that you mentioned, John, with the fireplace that's big enough for 20 people to sit around and be a part of. Glenmore is a community gathering place as much as it is a golf course. It is a place where people come even if they're not golfing. The food is good. There's a place to gather. It's a beautiful setting. There's some really cool views of the mountains from there. It is a community facility, and that matters.
Yeah. Well, it is genuinely like the heartbeat of that community.
Yeah.
It just is the epicenter of that area.
Absolutely.
And so lucky that it's there. We're so lucky to have it. We're lucky to have Darcy.
Love it. All right. We got to take a break. What would be next?
Paul, you know what's next.
I do. It's the What's Next segment brought to us by the Utah Golf Association. Stick around on the other side. We'll tell you what's coming up next in Utah Golf as we put a bow on the show. You are listening to Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network. Yeah, Utah Golf Radio. Putting a bow on the show. Telling you what's coming up next here in Utah Golf. The round stage 2 of the PGA Tour Q School Series will take place next week. We'll have a report for you on that. It's coming the first week of December. You got to keep our eyes on that. But that is coming up. Be sure to mark on your calendars for December 2nd through December 4th. The Salt Lake City Golf gift cards will be available. This is online, where you get a 20% kick for anything you buy. You can get 20% off or spend 20% more, however you want to do that. But that is Salt Lake City Golf, December 12th through the 4th. This weekend, make sure you watch the RSM Classic. Patrick Fishburne is at the top of the leaderboard after the first 2 rounds. He's got a one-shot lead over Maverick McNeely. Patrick going for his first PGA Tour career victory. And keep your fingers crossed that as it all shakes out. Good word.
Yeah.
As it all shakes out,
Zach Blair.
that Zach can remain at the 125 position when it's all said and done.
That's
it's out of his hands at this point.
Magic number.
And John, what's next? You're coaching some kids basketball.
Yep, I'm going to 7th grade boys basketball. Oh boy, 2 games coming up, so looking forward to that.
You're a good man, John.
Patient man.
Yeah, no, that is good stuff. We hope you get a chance to play. If you do get a chance to play, please remember to replace your divots and fix all your ball marks. On behalf of everybody who's been on the show and thanking you for listening today, this is Paul Pugmire saying, don't jab it like Jan.
Jan Brownstein says, chug it, don't pug it.
Good advice at all times. Thank you so much for listening to us today. This is Utah Golf Radio on the Rocky Mountain Golf Network.